Hello everybody, it is Carrie and Katarina with, of course, Lucas with us today, and we are going to be doing Caribou Creek. This is just outside of Nederland, Colorado, and we're following Trails Off-Road, which says to start on the south side of Caribou Creek South and head north, and then we'll meet up with Caribou Creek North. It's kind of a weird place to start. You're like around houses and stuff. Kind of weird area to get going here. Not what I remember the last time I did Caribou Creek coming the opposite direction, but we're gonna see what this turns into. So let's get going. Well, this is seriously narrow, very high chance of getting some pinstripes, and a major shelf road warning. If you do not like shelf roads, you are not going to like this at all, because it is super narrow, some off-camber sections, some tippy sections with some rocks, and you are right on the edge of a cliff. Now, it's not a 1,000-foot cliff or anything, but it's definitely not one that you would want to go over on. So for you shelf road haters, may not be a good trail for you. We have never done this section of Caribou Creek before, so this is all new to us. And as I said, we are going to be, if I said it, we're following Trails Off-Road today. So we started with Caribou Creek South, waypoint 1, and when this ends, that will be where the beginning of Caribou Creek North is. So we're in for, I think, a pretty long day today if we're going at this pace, because this is some slow going through here. As we come around the corner, we see a pretty nasty washout here in the road. At first glance, I'm not even sure that we're going to be able to make it over this. So Katarina's going to get out, take a look, and if possible, try and spot me through this. Now, when you're watching this from the comfort of your probably toilet, and you're looking at this on your phone, you probably are thinking, that's not sketchy at all. What's the big deal? Why is he going so slow? Well, because inside I'm looking at my gauges and it's telling me I'm at a 19-degree pitch and a 19-degree roll, and I gotta tell you, that feels sketchy. I can handle a lot more pitch, I can handle a lot more roll, but when you put them together, it just feels bad. That, combined with the fact that the back tire is slipping and sliding to the passenger side, does not feel good at all. And even though Katarina's just telling me, just go, just go, just go, it feels really, really bad. But as you can tell, it's really worth it. Now, just to make it fair for everybody, before the passenger side was on the cliff side, well, now it's the driver's turn. And like I've mentioned, this trail is very narrow. You have to be very careful about rocks on the side and some of those big branches that could potentially spell disaster for your sidewalls. So be careful if you're running Caribou Creek South. It can get pretty narrow. Well, we are coming up on our first water crossing of the day, and because there's been so much snow up here and the trail just opened, there's a lot more ahead. So if you like water crossings like we do, stick around because they get longer, they get deeper, and they get muddier. Well, we are finally off all the shelf roads and back into the forest. You can see it is still very narrow. There are very, very few places to pass somebody or to get out of the way of incoming vehicles. Right now we are heading up the hill towards El Dorado Mountain, which has an elevation of a little over 9,600 feet above sea level, which is great because it's cooling off. It's a beautiful day. Sure beats being home where it was close to 100 degrees. Since there's really no views around, the best way to see everything around you is from the air. At the 2.9 mile mark, you can come across some old mine ruins. There's the old mine shaft that's covered over and surrounded with the orange fencing, and there's some equipment or parts of equipment that still remain on the site. So if you like that kind of stuff, be sure and stop, take a look around. As we make the trek from Mineral Mountain over to Caribou Hill, we're above the 10,000 foot line. You can see we're out of the forest. Things are a little more wide open. The trail's a little wider. The views are better, and we're just having a great time right now. Now, if you're doing this trail and you have extra time, we highly suggest you take it and go and visit some of these side routes. The views are absolutely amazing. You can see for hundreds of miles in every direction. It really is breathtaking. Now that we've been descending for a while, we are back to the forest. I like this. It's nice, it's shady, it's a little cooler, but it's a little narrower. And again, there's really no place for any passing here. As you come up to the end here, you'll find yourself in a parking lot. Now you can exit and leave, get back to Peak Highway, But what we're going to do is we're going to make a hard U-turn basically to get on Caribou Creek North. So we're going to continue heading up Caribou Creek and see what the other side of the trail has in store for us today. Now the south side was 6 miles long. It's going to take about 2 hours. The north side is 2.8 miles long, but it's rated a 3.5. So could take us a while to get through it. But at least right now, we're enjoying the drive and taking in all of the views. This side of Caribou Creek is definitely a lot wetter than the south side. There is water running all the way down this trail so far. Now, this has me a bit concerned. First off, there's a couple mud pits up ahead. I have no idea how bad those are going to be. And second, there's the major creek crossing. In the time we've done this before, that was a couple feet deep. And with all this water here, I'm a little concerned that it's even going to be passable. Well, we have certainly been treated with one water puddle after another. And the further we go, the wetter it is getting. I want to take a moment and talk about this situation right here. We've got a muddy pit that's got a lot of water in it and these logs. You need to be super careful. You absolutely need a spotter to be watching you as you go over these logs, because in an instant something can go wrong. A tire can slip, one of those can jam into the differential, jam into a wheel, cause all kinds of problems for you. So here, Katarina started going to the passenger side. There was no way she was going to make it up over that log. I had to make her back up and take a different line. So this is not a good situation to be in. So you have to take this very, very carefully. Okay, this is just straight. Now these are some really deep puddles here. We wanted to be extra careful, so I actually took my tripod and stuck it in the water at different points to make sure it was going to be safe for us to get through it. So never take a water puddle for granted. Sometimes you could be wrong. With as bad as those mud bogs were, I was expecting the absolute worst from the creek crossing here, if not being flat out impassable. And yet, it's been graded. There's no ledge here anymore. This was one of the easiest parts of the entire trail. But still, who doesn't love a good water crossing? That was Caribou Creek, south and north. What a great time. If you like water crossings, boy, did we have our fill of them today on Caribou North. This is the road out. It's still a dirt road, but we went ahead and aired up using our EasyFlate Hyperflex system, the best four-way system around. And this is where we just came from, Caribou Creek 4x4 trail. Loved it, had a great time. If this looks like something for you, be sure and check it out. From Katarina and myself, stay safe out there. We'll see you on the trails.